Jen, a few years ago, Lexus moved its corporate headquarters from California to Texas. My question to you is that why we have a Lexus TX?
A TX now. It's a little coincidental, I might say.
Toyota, let us know because we're curious. So today we're going to do a This Just In on the new 3-row Lexus TX. And this is a vehicle that is perfect for you.
Yeah, mom-to-be. This is the ultimate luxury-based family car. You know, pretty large 3-row SUV.
Except for one thing, and that is that this is the F Sport. You want to show them these wheels and tires because they are enormous.
Yeah, as a mom-to-be, I don't think most moms are focused on having 22s because that's going to give you probably a worse ride. You know, we'll find out when we get it on the road, but you know, it's an interesting thing, but when it's more performance-based, typically you're going for bigger wheels.
Yeah, these are definitely concept show car tires. The first thing that struck me when I looked at it was, holy cow, that is not a lot of rubber and that is a lot of wheel. I think the other thing that strikes people is this giant spindle grille.
Yeah, it's a little more closed off, but it's a little more aggressive on the F Sport version versus the other TXs. It's, you know, the same angles as the other Lexuses, but it is a little different.
You know what's happening, I think? I think now even cars that aren't electric are starting to have grills that look electric because there are obviously slots in here to let air into the radiator.
But it's very minimal.
Yeah, very minimal. And speaking of the engine, I'll pop open the hood and let's talk about what powers this guy. Or gal.
So this has a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, making 275 horsepower, 317 pound-feet of torque, but it's made it up to an 8-speed automatic, which I like to see.
Yeah, and of course it powers all 4 wheels, so it is all-wheel drive all the time. And I think what's happened in the last 10 years is that all-wheel drive has become a luxury feature. You can't really have a 2-wheel drive luxury car anymore. I was just in Carmel at Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
And BMW lent me 4 things about this car. It was a 4 Series, it was a convertible, which is cool, right?
Uh-huh.
It was an M, but it was all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff in a convertible that I don't think you need in a convertible, but apparently people in the north want all-wheel drive convertibles that have, a ton of power. Anyway, let's get back to the TX. Do you like the styling?
I think it's okay. I think it definitely resembles the Grand Highlander, of course, which is what it's kind of based off of. But it has a little more accentuating features that give it a little more style over the Grand Highlander. But overall, I like it's a little more boxy, less crossover-y. I think it looks okay.
And if you guys want to check out the Grand Highlander review, just head on over to all TFL because you did a slip test. So you guys have a complete review of basically what is underneath here. Now this is a Grand Highlander that's been Lexified. How much does it cost?
This is a little over $69,000, but you can get a base TX for $56,000.
So $13,000 more?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
For the F Sport.
Yeah. Now we did find one interesting thing. Why don't you put down those seats?
So they are power fold, which is nice. That's one of the standard things that come with the F Sport package. However, it takes like 37 years for them to go up and down.
Oh my God, if you had a screaming baby, which you might soon.
Pretty soon I will. I mean, I'd rather just pull something and pull it up. But, it is nice to have a power folding feature. However, this just is painstakingly slow.
Yeah, it is kind of cool to watch that choreography happen as one goes up and one goes down, but it does seem like it does take forever.
Yeah.
And then you do have quite a bit of room back here behind the third row.
20 cubic feet of room, and then with all 2 rows folded down, 97 cubic feet, which is actually more than the Sequoia.
What's hiding under here? Let's find out.
Let's see what we got.
Oh, we have a jack. Oh, we have the little cover for the. That's kind of cool that
That's
they have it
nice.
back here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because usually what happens with these, rolling covers is I tend to take them out when I'm trying to stuff a bike in here, and I put them in my garage, and then they stay there forever.
They collect dust.
Yeah, so it's nice that Toyota put, in this case, Lexus put a place for to store it. It's kind of cool.
So that's nice.
I also like the fact that they hid the exhaust pipe.
Yeah, I'm back and forth on that. Sometimes I like to see a nice polished exhaust tip, but at the other end, those usually accumulate so much and get so dirty, and they're so
Sure.
hard to keep clean, so might as well just kind of tuck them away.
All right, now let's see how much room there is. I won't force you into the third row. So
Oh, thanks.
this one has the captain seats. So this is a 6-seater and not a 7-seater. And I will try to get in the back. How's that? Let me try this row first. Yeah, this is very comfortable. Lots of room back here. I have heated and vented seats, which is really luxurious.
That's huge.
Yeah, I have my own temperature controls. But let's see how the kiddos do in the back. So I'm guessing it's this guy. Yeah, oh, that's nice. Actually, that's very good. That is actually really good.
That's
easy to get
pretty
into.
easy.
Yeah, that's easy to get into. Look at that, enough headroom. This might be a little problem. No, it's not too bad.
And how tall are you, Roman?
I'm 6'2".
And you're fitting back there.
Yeah, look at that.
Because these have, compared to the RX and the Highlander, these have 5 inches of extra legroom, 2.5 inches of extra headroom. And it makes it for, an actual third row for adults to be able to fit in.
I have been in a lot of rear seats recently, and this is by far the most comfortable. And look at this. I can actually, I can electronically recline the seat even further
fancy.
back. Yeah, how fancy is that?
I would kind of expect that, though,
Yeah.
with the Lexus.
And then, go ahead.
Plus we've got rear sunshades for the second row as well, which is also a nice standard.
And then there's a button to let me escape. There he goes. Look at
Okay.
that. And I have my own USB-C port. All right, let's jump in here and take it for a ride. Yeah, I can actually get in here without looking like an idiot. Here, Cole, I'll move this back for you. You can jump in. So, Jen, you were saying something about this.
Yeah, so this is a very peculiar design feature. I noticed we have some micro suede right here, but this is the only part in the car that I've noticed so far that it has this little panel of micro suede. It's not on the headliner or anything like that. We do have the semi-aniline leather on the side, which is very, very soft. Same with the seats. But this little pad right here is microfiber, and it's just very odd.
I mean, I give it to Lexus. They really do luxurify a vehicle. I mean, there's nothing in here that I'm touching that is plasticky like in Highlander.
Right.
Everything feels expensive. There's even like mouse fur in the bottom of this little door handle.
The soft press features everywhere.
And then there's like hidden cubbies, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and these actually come out, which is really nice. Quite a few USB ports. 3 here.
Yep.
Go back in.
My biggest gripe is that the cup holders don't go back in. Okay, how did now I got it. Oh, it's in.
Oh, okay.
My
Got
biggest
it.
gripe is this little tiny volume now.
I know.
I would be turning up and down the heat and the air conditioning every time I went for the volume
Right.
because this is what I would be doing.
It's a
if I
little
was-
hidden, and it's a
Yeah.
little tiny.
And then, of course, you have Lexus's attention to details. So there actually are quite a few buttons that are on the steering wheel that are over here on the left side. So I do like that. It's not all hidden in the screen. And this new Lexus infotainment system is actually pretty good. Toyota actually came up with their own. For a long time, I would say Toyota had one of the worst in the business. And when I say Toyota, I mean Toyota/Lexus. And now that they've kind of redone it, rejiggered it, it's much better. In terms of how this drives, it drives like a big car. What does it compete with?
Well, it competes with the Q7, the MDX, the Aviator, and so far, I would say it's pretty similar. It's got a 0 to 60 about 7.1 seconds, which is above average for its class.
No, it's floored. Let's see how it does. There goes the turbo, and there goes the power. In here, this 2.4 liter turbo doesn't sound bad. That might be piped in sound because out there it sounds a little bit like a weed whacker. And this is the same powertrain that's in obviously a lot of Toyota products
Right.
and Lexus products. And it does get relatively good fuel economy. Do we have the numbers? Do we have them wrote down?
Yeah, we've got,
Let's see what this thing gets.
I believe it's combined 23 MPG, 26 highway.
That's not bad for something this big, rolling on 22s,
Yeah, I would expect something a little less, but I'm curious to see what it would actually do in real world situations.
It's funny, Toyota, like everybody else, has gone down in cylinder count and gone up in horsepower. because of turbocharging, and I think a lot of people still are having a hard time wrapping their head around that these luxurious vehicles now have a 4-cylinder turbo instead
Right.
of a V6 or, gosh, a V8.
Oh, especially when they're huge.
Yeah.
3 rows like this.
Yeah,
They're expecting a big V8.
Now it drives well, actually. It obviously it's not a sports car, but I could see myself, carrying the family around. It is a little bit on the harsh side, the suspension. You're feeling it right now, and that's because there's not a lot of rubber.
Oh gosh, yeah. I feel every inconsistency in the road.
Yeah, I would avoid the 22s.
Yeah, the F Sport is a cool feature if you like performance, but for a family vehicle, I would assume you want it to be quiet and you want to be riding like a cloud, so you're not waking up the kiddos if they're sleeping.
The great thing about Lexus is Lexi is they're certainly well put together. Even though this thing does have a little bit of a harshness to its ride, there's no squeaks, there's no rattles. It feels like it's made out of one piece of metal in this case, and that's nice. And the other nice thing about it is I do kind of like the design here. It's very straightforward, not all screen necessarily, but enough that you can use it. So it's got the most important things that I use all the time, like the heated and cooled seats,
right.
the heated steering wheel.
And that stays there, which is nice.
It's there, yeah. And then they've been doing this for a while, these kind of built-in controls. I think they're really nice, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. 14.5 or 14-inch infotainment screen, 12.3-inch cluster, which is also customizable, but it also has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I mean, it's a pretty good system.
Toyota was the last to go to that. For a long time they fought it, but I think their customers said, no, we need that.
We want this.
Yeah, I'm not sure you need paddle shifters. They become kind of ubiquitous on everything that's luxurious because we've now conflated luxury and sportiness, and this is a good example of that. It would be nice if you picked one. You don't have to have both in one, but this is the way.
It is the way. It's the way of the future, apparently.
The shifter is easy to use. There are different drive modes, obviously. But I don't think any people are going to be using this off-road mode.
Even hill descent control.
Yeah. Have you actually ever used hill descent control?
Not other than our tests.
Yeah. I just think it's a piece of software that now gets put in, but
yeah.
I don't think anybody ever uses it really.
No.
I guess if you live in San Francisco, you might use it, but I have never actually used it in anger. So, overall, I think this is a very nice package as the airplane goes by. Of course. We're filming, and I like this car. I think, if you want the value proposition, obviously go with
the Grand Highlander.
With the Grand Highlander.
But for that price difference of what, $13,000, you can get a base TX 456, which was the same price as the Grand Highlander Nightshade that we just had. So. I don't know. It depends on what you're really looking for, I suppose.
And I would feel kind of bad when you start grinding in Cheetos.
Yeah.
This feels a little too luxurious for that. So I guess, if you are of a persuasion where you want kind of the upper end of things, Toyota's got you covered, right? They've got the Grand Highlander and they've got the new TX. And Toyota, let us know, is it a TX because you moved to Texas, or was this planned long before then? Guys, we will be doing a complete review of this, so this is just in. Basically, Toyota just dropped it off for our week review, and we wanted to give you a quick preview, and we'll see you next time. And Jen, where should they go for more TFL stuff?
Alltfl.com, baby.
Ciao, as the plane circles again. See ya.